Started too soon. You all need to share your screens. Rise of the Rune Lords, Chapter 2, Session 18, title TBD.
We know what we're doing.
The party, having received somewhat disappointing news about the going rates of purification spells at the Temple of Abadar, decided to follow up their additional Magmar leads and track down the maker of a strange cage that they had found in Foxglove Manor. Jerome, having done business with the gentleman before, knew exactly where his shop was.
He's the best.
He's the best. He's a guy. He makes scissors. They're the best scissors. Knew exactly where to find him, and the party was able to extract a bit of information as to where these cages had been delivered, and get an address for Foxglove's townhouse, which they promptly decided to visit, finding it at least boarded up on the ground level. They decided to make entry, meeting a very cheerful Aldrin and Aisha Foxglove, which the party felt was slightly odd, given that they were fairly certain they had killed Aldrin in his horrible, ghastly form, and that they had seen Aisha's corpse strangling him and then crumbling to dust. The party was a little put off and decided to take a cautious stance before the imposters revealed themselves to be horrible, shape-shifting mounds of rippled flesh that then tried to attack them.
And they didn't have dinner ready on time.
They did not give you the dinner they promised, which, to be fair, the worst crime that they committed. After dispatching these horrible hosts, they searched an already ransacked townhouse, to the frustration of at least Reyna, who had a fixation on every hearth in every floor and every room of the townhouse. Thankfully, this fixation bore fruit in the form of a secret compartment accessed by using a lion's head key in a lion's head. Unlocking the lion's head, they were able to get inside and find a box containing presumably a nest egg of platinum pieces and some legal documents, including the deed to Foxglove Manor, and details on who helped build it, and a strange ledger detailing payments to a B-7 entity for a trip that presumably was not actually being taken, as the person on the trip was, as the party assumes, dead. At least twice now.
All right, chumps, let's do this. Leroy!
Oh, no, Calidor, don't go in there.
Calico runs down the stairs.
Okay, so you find yourself in this room, Arena, having found this box. There is a desk, there is a footlocker, a nice bed. The footlocker is basically upside down, open. The desk has been ransacked. But there is a fairly nice zebra rug. It's striking. It's maybe a little garish, maybe a little out of place.
What's underneath the rug?
It presumably animal hide, but you would be making an assumption on that.
Well, I want to check what's under the like on the floor underneath. If there's like a trap door or something like that.
All right. You peek under this zebra rug, and as you do so, you find basically probably a year's worth of dust and filth. Someone has been literally sweeping under the rug.
Do I find anything in the dust and filth for a 33?
Actually, you do. You find a platinum piece, a stray platinum piece, that was hidden amongst the dust and debris. Sometimes, if you're not too cautious about what you're sweeping, things get swept up. Jerome, as you're handling this rug, it's pretty supple. Like, this is well tanned hide.
Hmm.
There's some work here. Like this is garment. This is garment quality.
Yeah.
You figure you could get at least 35 gold pieces out of it as is, but you feel like you could work it into a creation that would fetch 10 times that.
I am making a zebra three-piece suit. That would look terrible.
Depends on how you run the stripes, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Are you trying to blend in with a herd of zebra?
It depends. It also depends on which lounge you're playing.
So yeah, I take the I take possession of this rug. I say,
Carla's gonna be
mine,
so jealous.
Dis my rug.
my rug.
It's the best rug. It's okay.
Can we stop with that? Because it kind of makes me want to puke.
All right.
Well, only 5 more of them tonight.
So you roll up this rug. It is a rug. So it's not really like pack capable.
We have a cart outside.
Packable is the word.
Strange thing you do notice as you roll up the rug, though. There did seem to be a thing taped to the back of it.
And I didn't notice that for my... I was inspecting the dust for a 33.
What is taped to the back of it?
It's a small key. A small, very suspiciously familiar-looking key.
Interesting.
I hand the key over to Reyna. Does this look like one of the other ones that we've been using?
DM, does it look like one of the other ones that we've been using?
No, it's entirely different in its quality. It's bitted a little strangely. I will say that this representation is a little bit simplistic, but this is the general look of the key. So I will show it to you. If you will check out the screen share, I am sharing. And try not to read any of the text.
I can't... Oh.
You will,
Pretty.
but I will give that to you for free anyway. The key itself is basically the symbol of the Temple of Abadar. But it also seems to be a key and not just a holy symbol. The bidding is a little more complex than the one shown here. And on the sun, that would ordinarily just be a sun in the holy symbol, there's a number.
And that number is?
And that number is 237.
Does the Temple of Abadar have storage lockers?
Make me a religion check.
Okay, hold on a minute.
So it's like more like a tomb.
More like a bank.
Reyna, for a 20 on knowledge religion, you do recall that the Temple of Abadar, being a god devoted to mercantile pursuits, do offer a banking service, and as part of its banking services, they do offer storage vaults.
Safety deposit boxes!
No, I think they just have. Yeah, they don't have anything like that there.
No, trust me, Jerome. I know from things.
No, that doesn't sound right at all.
Yeah. I mean,
Jakar. Back me up on this.
We're merchants, all right. We know these things.
Mm-hmm.
Takar, for a 10, back me up on this.
Chakar, for
think
a 10, for a 10, you know enough to know that you don't know, versus Jerome's so low that he thinks he knows that it isn't true.
Well, I think that this isn't my area of expertise, and I'm just going to default to the information that the individuals that have the selling experience would know.
Oh, damn it. I mean, it doesn't hurt to, go there and find out and prove you wrong.
Raina, from your experience, you will know that sometimes there are some caravans that help transport some of these between other temples, and you have possibly lifted one or two of them in the past. You're pretty confident, that this is a thing.
Do I have any other keys on me? Just left over?
I don't know, roll me a d20. No.
No?
No, you cashed those in a long time ago.
Would I have had to have gotten a nat 20 for you to give me something? Alright.
She just looks at me and really? That isn't good enough? No, it's not good enough.
I have a platinum
All
key
right, well,
that I
let's
didn't
go to
have
the temple
before.
and show you that you're wrong, that they don't have them.
Alright, I'm waiting to eat crow.
Also, Raina, you will know that possession of the key is 9/10 of the law. It's very important you keep your key hidden and secret. You must keep it secret. You must keep it safe, because the key is your identification.
Okay, I keep it secret and safe somewhere that no one would look for it.
I would look there.
Where would you look, Jerome?
He's been
Look
looking this
myself.
whole time to me.
Why is he looking inside of my shoe?
He's,
I have a foot fetish.
it's a little weird.
I would be looking in your clothing. I mean,
Dibs.
Anyways,
I look around at the 3 males in my party like, really? We're gonna do this now?
totally. I don't know about you, but this is always happening for us.
I give an exasperated sigh and flash the rest of the party.
Yay!
There! You happy now? You got it out of your system? Put everything back where it's supposed to be. Let's go. Sorry, Jerome, you apparently blinked.
Looking the wrong way.
all right,
Car was in the wrong room.
let's get all this stuff loaded up on the cart and let's go to the temple.
All right.
Man, this computer is moving slower than molasses in January. Okay, so going downstairs. Oh my god. Turkar, are you coming with?
Absolutely.
Are you intending to go straight to the temple?
It's pretty close, as we determined on the map last time.
It is pretty close, yes.
Although, wasn't this not on the map?
We decided its location.
Yeah.
Right next door to the temple, because...
Yeah, it's
To
where,
make us walk all the way back through town.
it's where the circle is and the Chakar and horse are, apparently.
23.
Yeah, you guys were way over there at the guy's shop on this map. When you said you were going to the address, I just moved you to the address, but we're better now.
Hello, Shadow.
All right. Yeah, 23 is the Temple of.
It's got an arrow pointing to it.
In case we forget where it is,
Right?
because it's so hard to figure out what's what here.
What is the circle then that Drakar's sitting in the middle of?
Foxglove Manor or Foxglove Town house location.
Okay. And what is 28? Because it looks like a tambourine.
28.
That's the weapons place, right?
Yeah, I believe it was something to do with
Armory?
something.
Woo!
Yeah, Arvin Sor, which was the guard fortress, I think. Oh, that's right. I have a different PDF for Magnemar, in which, as I remember, none of the numbers corresponded.
Yeah. That was a thing. Ouch.
I was supposed to fix that, and I forgot it. So, you make your way over to the temple. Looking a little bit like carpet salesman at this point.
I thought I put that in the wagon.
Yeah.
We put all of our loot in the
The
wagon, so actually we probably just look like general pawners.
Yeah, people assume that you're just some sort of shiftless vagabond Varisian.
Well, honestly, like, we only have
Well,
one rug, so maybe we're just, like, shopping.
Well, that's what they say about Varisians, you know. They go wherever their rug is.
What does that even mean?
Heyo! I think the girls down at the oyster know what that means.
What does that even mean?
I'll tell you when you're older.
It means that they use a flying carpet to get around.
What?
Spicy lovers.
I want a flying carpet.
Right?
Can we get a flying carpet?
Please.
Can you?
I don't know. Can we?
I mean, can you?
I don't know. We never get enough gold, so we probably can't.
Maybe we can get somebody to enchant this rug and turn it into a flying carpet.
Chant your face.
Oh my god.
Flying
Or
rug.
maybe it was from a celestial zebra and it can already fly. You don't know.
Wait a minute.
Well, it hasn't gone anywhere. Considering that I'm never supposed to have dogs anywhere near my desk, there is like a pile of dog hair half an inch thick.
Ooh. Is there a platinum piece in it?
It's worth checking.
No. It's just a piece of dowel rod that I use to make jump rings.
All right, let's knock on the door.
Do we have to knock on the door, or can we just...
Open the door.
What time of day is it?
Is there a sign that says their business hours?
It took you a little while to cross basically all of Magnemar to go find the illustrious Pugs Contraptions and Pinking Shear manufacturer, but
The
it's
best.
still well within business hours, as I believe you got out there in the sort of morning.
Okay.
So I would say you're drawing on towards a late morning, early lunchtime kind of atmosphere.
Is there a sign on the door that says out to lunch? Back in 5.
This is a big place.
This is what?
The Temple of Abadar is a big place. You figure they probably do their meals and shifts.
Gotcha. I open the door. And
All right.
walk in like I own something in the place.
Perfect. You are immediately met.
Is there a place I can stow the horse and cart so that no sticky fingers get into it?
Yeah, you remember that the loading sort of door area was on the side of the temple, and that it was sort of a concealed area in the back of an alley that was fairly.
All right, I lead Shadow back there. I'll catch up, guys.
All right. Reyna, you are met at the door, basically immediately by an acolyte of Abadar, who is standing behind a small podium, a little bit like a fancy restaurant maitre d', who steps out, and you recognize him as the acolyte that you were dealing with previously.
Damn it! So hoping it would be anybody else.
Hey, I'm not here right now, so maybe he likes you guys more.
Am I to assume that you've come up with the fee for the spell that you were requesting?
Well, not. That's not why we're here.
The price is non-negotiable, as I told you before.
Yes, we have been over that, and as I told you, that is not why we're here. I have come simply to visit my safety deposit box.
He gives you a little bit of a look, like, if you can't afford our services, how do you have a safety deposit box here?
I give him a look that says it's none of his God-blessed business, and to stop being so nosy.
Well,
What do I have to roll for that look?
Oh, the look.
You may choose intimidate or bluff, depending on which you think is more appropriate to the way that you wish to portray yourself.
Caladrel flirts with him, apparently.
Hey, buddy. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm having a safety deposit box at the Temple of Abadar. A respectable young lady like yourself, I'm sure, is familiar with the procedures of access.
It's been a while since I've been here. I have my key. I produce said key.
Ah, a key. Well, there you go. You're 95% of the way there.
And the other 5%? Forgive me for being so forgetful. I've been out of town for quite some time.
He holds out a hand and coughs a little.
Caladrel gives him a handkerchief. You don't want to get that look.
He looks down at the handkerchief sitting in his hand, and then very, very slowly turns his head sideways and rotationally so that he's looking at Caladrel like a confused puppy.
Okay, I'm doing a knowledge local. What is customary for a 17?
I might have a tincture for that cough.
You would know for a 17 that there is a customary is sort of a light word, a required donation to the Temple of Abadar.
Okay.
For access to their services. You are hazy on the amount required.
I think give him a copper.
Jerome, do you give him a copper?
No. I tell this to I whisper this to Reyna.
All right.
I give Jerome a dirty look. I snatch the handkerchief out of the guy's hand, hand it back to Caladrel, apologize profusely.
Hey.
Does Caladrel know for a 19 what the donation is that he can, like, sort of lip it to me?
You had a feeling that the donation amount was somewhere between 5 and 15 gold pieces. Caladrel,
Yeah, I don't have that.
Caladrel would know that it's more like 5 to 10 gold pieces.
Is a platinum piece worth 10 gold pieces?
Yes.
I give him the platinum piece I found in the dust.
The dustiest, dirtiest one.
Cleaned it off very well. I come from old money, you see. Very, very old.
Yeah. Yes. Well, Thank you for your donation to the Temple of Abadar. May Abadar smile on you, and may all your transactions be prosperous and favorable. Right this way. And he seems to transfer that piece to a pouch at his belt, and then try to wipe his hands off on something.
Does he wipe his hands on Jerome? I have to know.
Well, he had a handkerchief.
He did. He did
but
have.
He took it away.
I took it away from him.
Like I said, had.
Past tense.
No, he had to turn his nose up at it.
Right? He didn't know he needed it at the time.
Perfectly free handkerchief.
He basically grabbed like a fold or a hem of his garment and took his hands off on that. Had it been a 10 or lower, he would have wiped it on Jerome. That was the decision.
No love. Jerome gets no love. Okay, so safety deposit box. Give to me.
All right.
Ugh.
So you are taken.
Jerome, is it going to be one of those days?
Yep, I bet.
This is not looking good.
You are taken to the back. It is made somewhat clear by the acolyte's bearing that only you, the key bearer, are permitted to enter the vault area.
Okay.
The two paladins of Abadar standing either side of the vault door make that impression even more clear to the rest of the party.
I will, as I reach the door, I will turn and say, wait here for me. I will be back momentarily.
Shit like this is why I'm an atheist.
Okay.
I turned to one of the paladins. So what are the hours here like?
He looks at you, looks you up and down in a very
Judgmental. I hate your guts.
a very judgmental and
Very aroused.
I turn heads.
And stomachs.
Sorry, sir. Can't be answering questions on watch.
Certainly.
Probably would have been faster if he just answered the question instead of explained why he's not answering the question.
Then I would have asked another question.
That's probably true. Because we all know how you are.
Raina, your experience as you are led through
What's this do? What's that do?
portcullis-y area into the greater vault area is that this is a very nice place. There are a lot of things that are gilded in here. There's a fountain in the middle of this room.
Interesting.
Like, okay. It is basically Abadar related, a fountain. It has a little sculpture of sort of the city itself, with waterfalls that aren't there, featuring in the fountain works. It's pretty nice. And then along the walls in 3 tiers are galleries, presumably of boxes.
Fancy. I begin looking for box number 237.
All right, make me a perception check.
Okay.
The acolyte steps back and says, having taken out the box, I'm sure Madam can find her way back.
Yes, thank you. Perception.
Jeebus.
All right. You, being a keen-eyed observer, as you walk in, notice the numerical pattern of the boxes closest to you and which way they seem to be running. The sections seem to have a specific order to them. Some of them have letters to them. There's actually much, much longer numbers than this 3 digits that you have. But all of the boxes that you pass on the first level start with a 1.
I make my way to the second level.
Right. Making your way to the second level, you find basically at the head of the stair your box, as the numbers seem to run from the stairway in increasing amounts. It's really easy to get to. Knowing what you know about the Temple of Abadar, you feel like securing this particular box ran into some money. Not as much as maybe ground floor boxes might run into, but it wasn't the cheapest box you could get.
All right.
And you also know that boxes can be willed to descendants.
To me.
So it
was willed to me.
It's quite possible that this box has been in the Foxglove family for some time.
All right. I'm going to eyeball the box.
Do not put the box in your eyeball.
All right. From what you could tell, there is a rather sturdy-looking door with a keyhole in it and a number on it.
Easy trapped.
You do not detect any traps.
I look around to make sure that I'm alone in the room. Am I alone in the room?
No. There are a couple of other people some way down the corridor that you are in. Also, the entire central area of this larger room is where the fountain is, and everything is just, straight up 3 stories. So
gotcha. All right.
Banister behind you.
All right. I'm going to scrutinize the keyhole specifically, looking for traps for 27. Because I don't want it to blow up in my face.
So untrusting.
For
right?
27, checking the keyhole, you do notice that there seems to be a mechanism involved that the key unlocks.
Now you're just being a dick.
But there seems to be a position in which that key has to be turned and then turned back to in order to actually activate the lock.
So, am I able to intuit how I need to use the key to open the lock from looking at the lock this closely?
For a 27, you will notice those 2 points of rotation, and you will also notice that turning the key to any of the other places would not function, so that it is both a key, something you have, and a combination, something you know.
Gotcha.
It's a 2-factor safety deposit box.
Okay. But I don't see any explosives.
No.
Okay.
You presume that the incorrect combination, at least at first, would simply result in the box not opening. There does seem to be some additional stuff in there that you might make a guess that would capture the key after a couple of tries.
Ooh, fancy. Okay.
Like my phone.
I put the key in, and I do the thing that I'm supposed to do to make it open.
You turn it 15 degrees to the left, 14, one more. Well,
That works too.
And then back 23 degrees to the right, and you hear a very satisfying click.
Thunk.
And the front of the door, which you presumed it to be a door on hinges, as that would make sense, it isn't. In fact, it just pops out about 2 inches.
Okay. Like I look around the edges of the newly popped out piece and see if there's some obvious way that I'm supposed to open it.
An inspection of the edges of the box will reveal that there are 2 indents on either side that have now been revealed by it popping out. Roughly hand-sized.
So, okay. So I grab the thing and pull on it gently?
It comes out very smoothly and very easily. This is a exceptionally well-made mechanism.
Okay. So what am I now holding in my hand?
You are holding in your hand a box which has a lid on the top of it, which you can now see is actually hinged at the side that came towards you, and that the opening end is actually in the back as you pull the box all the way out of the wall. It stops after a certain point, being captured somewhat in the niche that it fits in. So you don't.
It's like a filing cabinet drawer.
Exactly. You don't take it with you, but the lid does open from that back side, so that it has to come fully out before you can get into the lid, which is not an insignificant piece of metal. But once you do pull it out fully, once it reaches its stop, there's an additional click in which the lid pops up about half an inch, just to give you a good place to get a finger under it. It is about the size of a bread box.
Not bigger than a bread box? Alright. Going to perceive for traps before I open the lid fully.
All right.
For a 33. I don't want it to, like, bite my finger off or anything.
For a 33, being the cautious rogue that you are, you will carefully inspect through the small gap that the lid provides, using... do you have a dagger?
Yeah.
Yeah. Using your dagger to reflect a bit of the ambient light into the dark interiors of the box, and you see something a little out of the ordinary. There seems to be some sort of attachment between the lid and something further inside, which you gently probe with the dagger and manage to detach very gently from the lid. It made your rogue senses tingle.
I don't like it when they tingle. So having detached this tether, do I now feel that it is safe to open the lid?
You feel safe in opening the lid, yes.
I open the lid.
Upon opening the lid, you find a box that's filled with several items. Interestingly, among them is a small jar that a small tether is laying sort of loosely on top of. That seems to be filled with sort of a roiling, greenish, sickly substance of some type.
Do I know what alchemical fire looks like?
Make a alchemist. Is that Arcana?
Yes. I think for
knowledge Arcana check.
I think for me it'd be a craft check, probably.
But I'm not you.
Yeah, I mean, that's one explanation. Could be poison too, I guess.
I imagine, well, I mean, unless it would like, once the jar was opened, if it would instantly vaporize and become an aerosol poison, that I could understand. But the way that the thing works, if you just open the lid, having it be a regular type of poison wouldn't make sense. What would make sense is if it, like, destroyed the contents of the box so that no one could steal them. Anyway, I take the whole thing, the trap, basically, and put it in my bag.
It is a very delicate thing, so I need you to make either a craft traps check or a general dexterity check, or something else that you might argue that would work. You have to basically stabilize its hair triggerness. It was designed to respond to a tug on that thong that was attached to the lid, and as such, it is a fairly sensitive item. You're going to have to stabilize it in order to just keep it. Okay. You are trying to get the lid mechanism on this thing to be a little less sensitive, and you're having a hard time pinning it down.
If it isn't, like, immediately easy to do, I will probably stop messing with it because I'm afraid of it.
Okay. Well, you're trying to do this. I want you to make me a stealth check.
This.
27. You managed to keep this hidden as an acolyte of Abadar, who is seemingly patrolling this level of the vaults, walks by you. You just sort of shift it and just look at him, and he goes, "Good morning." Keeps walking.
I nod and say good morning at him.
All right. You can make another check for your fixing the thing if you would like. Yeah, you figured it out. The second attempt, with a little bit of that adrenaline, you tend to live on the edge a little bit as Reyna anyway.
Living on the edge!
You don't know that you could disarm something, without that rush. It's the chance that, all right, do I disarm it or do I take that hidden bolt in the chest while I'm doing it? It's that drives you. So the guy walking by kind of gooses you up there in energy level, and you manage to firmly stabilize the device.
All right.
On second inspection, it might be some sort of aerosol acid spraying kind of thing.
Oh. This will come in handy. Okay, what else is in the box?
In the box, you find a journal that seems to be multi-generational.
Ooh, fancy.
It was written in, you see it, if you thumb through it, you see that it's got passages from Vorel Foxglove. It's got passages from Aldern Foxglove. Couple of different Foxglove patriarchs are represented. And it seems to be a very private journal, as evidenced by where it was kept. A lot of interesting reading in here. Perhaps this isn't the place to read it.
No, I'm not going to scrutinize much of anything. I'm going to look at it, figure out what it is, and stuff it in my bag.
Seems to be a neat thing. There's also a couple of bars of possibly silver.
While I'm eyeballing those things, I'm going to do an appraise check on them.
That's not silver, that's platinum.
That's what I thought. How many?
There are 3 platinum bars.
How heavy are they?
They're pretty heavy. They're about the size of a stick of butter.
But, like, in relation to a platinum piece, like how many platinum pieces would come out of a bar?
Giving it a general sort of look and sort of figuring out, the platinum pieces tend to be, sort of about the same diameter roughly as this butter-shaped bar is.
Okay.
If you can roughly equate a square to a circle. Squaring the circle, by the way, is the alchemist's job, but you're capable of doing it. You would think that, I don't know, this might represent... One second. I'll look up the thing, because it definitely switched to a different page. There's probably, I don't know. No, that's probably a little bit wrong. Probably about 50 platinum pieces per bar.
So 150 platinum is 1,500 gold.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else?
You do find a couple of strange jars that don't, have weird mechanical lids or anything. But they do seem to contain some sort of growth, some sort of moldy weirdness in them. It's a little hard to tell through the side. Something's all over the glass, though, in a mottled fashion. It's evocative of the basement of Foxglove Manor, though.
Is there anything else in the box?
All right. So, additionally, in the box...
Because I'm not going to open those jars.
Yes. You don't want to eat them?
No, I don't.
No?
I was actually strongly considering leaving them in the box so that Caladrel wouldn't eat them.
All right. So, additionally, there is a small a velvet bag. Inside the velvet bag is a small, finely made wooden box. And inside the wooden box
is a velvet bag.
And inside that velvet bag is an amulet.
Crap. What does the amulet look like?
It's pretty ornate. Finely crafted of several precious metals. You can tell that there's gold working in it, but there also seems to be sort of a greenish metal that's worked into parts of it in an interesting way.
Just as long as it's not, silver and turquoise.
But I don't know. I mean, cheap tourist trash, really.
All right. So I will leave the amulet. Right. I'm going to leave the amulet in the box. I'm going to put the box back in the bag. I'm going to put all of that stuff. The bag with the box with the amulet, the journal, the platinum bars, I guess, the jars of mold into my bag.
All right. You
There anything else in the box?
make me a perception check.
Right. To perceive.
31. This box is a lot shallower on the inside than it was on the outside.
Alrighty. Gonna sort of poke around and see if I can figure out if it's got a false bottom.
Seems to be a thread in that corner. Shouldn't really be there. Why is there a thread over there in that corner?
I'm afraid to pull the thread.
That would drive Jerome mad.
Yeah, that's no good.
Irish penance. I'm going to examine the thread to see if it's going to blow up. For a 37.
It looks to be actually some sort of silken thread.
It's sinister.
Difficult to tell anything, though, from this perspective.
Damn it. Alright, I will pull the thread.
Living on the edge.
Right?
Pulling the thread,
And boom goes the dynamite.
suddenly werewolves.
No! No!
Pulling the thread, you find that it is remarkably strong for its sort of small size, probably due to the silk. But the edge of the box bottom that it was attached to comes up with it. And the bottom of the box sort of tips a little sideways and is definitely not attached to anything anymore. And you can get fingers under it.
I get fingers under it very gently.
All right. Having gotten a hold of this false box bottom, you move it to the side, revealing 3 additional identical platinum bars to the ones that you had found.
Mm-hmm.
A further 2 gold bars of the same dimensions. So you would expect 50 gold coins to come from each of those. And there's actually a dagger.
Ooh.
It's a particularly wavy and sinister looking dagger.
Is it poison? Alright. I am...
So you mean to suggest they make daggers that aren't poisonous?
I mean, the one that I have isn't poison. I'm going to appraise the dagger. Why can I not appraise for shit today?
I mean, looks like there's some craftsmanship to it. It was certainly under the false bottom of a box, which, I don't know.
Well, it's mine now.
Man!
So, there's that. I'm very, very careful with it, though. I don't, want to accidentally poke myself
Mm-hmm.
and then die.
Yeah.
And it's...
You're ginger with it.
And is that a redhead joke? It's wavy. Does it fit in the scabbard that my regular dagger was in?
It does not.
Of course not. Does it have a scabbard of its own?
It does not.
Damn it! Well, mine anyway. I stow it somewhere safe.
Didn't you have a book that you put in your bag?
A perception check.
Okay.
Boy, that didn't seem like anything else in the box was that cold.
Ooh.
It's making my hand all cold and tingly.
It's a little weird.
Oh my god, dog. Are you dying?
As far as you can tell, you have emptied the box of everything except for the jars of weirdness.
No, I have them.
Okay.
As far as I can tell, you say. What do I tell now?
That's an empty box.
Okay. I am going to replace the false bottom with the string. And I am going to close the box and slide it back into the wall and reclaim my key.
All right. As the box drawer itself clicks into place, your key that was locked in the second position to which you turned it snaps to a vertical position, and you are able to pull it out of the box.
All right. I will depart and go and meet with my compatriots. Why are there two Daves?
Are you all waiting right outside of that portcullis that she went through, or has something else happened to any of you?
I am explaining to Caladriel the history of the town. As far as I can recall it, which, hey, it might not be that bad.
Magnamar. Magnamar is a bustling city. Fallen into a little bit of mismanagement and corruption recently, but former Chilaxian colony. It is known for a lot of trade and a lot of merchant activity. I am looking in the wrong document for additional information, so that's going to be a bit of a problem.
I'm going to go into the politics of the upcoming election.
Oh yeah. Basically, the guy whose name I forget runs the place, and he continues to do so. It's great. He's the best, he says.
Absolutely, he's the best. He knows all the best people. Hires great people.
You feel like there are certain sectors of the population that he tends to neglect. The poorer side of town certainly doesn't see a lot of attention from the Magnamar government.
So, anyways, yeah, that's all I was telling Caladriel.
All right, Caladriel, how do you respond to this interesting lecture in civics?
Yeah, that's about how I expect him to respond.
I mean, that's legit. That's in character. I mean, it's either that or he starts screaming about a cat. One or the other.
Where's Dakar this whole time?
I am somewhere doing something.
Did you come in to the bank with us?
I assume that I'm always with wherever Reyna is.
Well, you couldn't go into the vault, so you also probably listened to my civic lesson.
You talk about Alcadian Indros, the founder of Magnamar.
Yeah.
You remember there was that statue that you passed that guy.
Hello? Did I lose everyone?
Hello?
I'm here.
Yeah.
If that counts. You
Um,
went robotic that last thing. We didn't get it.
and we have no Dave and Andrew is still...
AFK. It's just you and I.
Well, this got a lot less interesting.
So you perceive that suddenly everyone around you just slumps over into a vacant position.
I mean, is it really time for the siesta?
Yeah. And a strange figure walks up to you and says, "You, Jerome, you are the key." And then vanishes into smoke, and everyone seems to go back about their business.
That's about the oddest thing that's happened today.
At least in the last half hour or so.
I mean, he didn't try to, like, promise me false dinners or anything.
So did anybody else see that, or was that just something that Jerome saw and none of us will believe him when he tells us?
The rest of you weren't there.
Oh, okay, I thought he was... I just got back.
That was the basic point of the thing.
Everyone's gone.
You feel like maybe that last meal you had, Jerome, might not be sitting as well as... I mean...
Why did I have to order the exotic fruit?
Yeah, it could have been a ghostly figure, but, could have been a bit of underdone potato, a piece of cheese. More of gravy than of the grave in that vision, perhaps.
Hmm.
But we know how that turned out for Ebenezer.
And he lived happily ever after.
Shout out to my bro, Chuck Dickens. Whoa! Shout out. Deep cuts. Anyway.
So I rejoin the group.
Yep.
Calandrel and Entercar are giving blank stares.
Raina comes back to you.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
Palatable smile on her face.
Let us be not out in the open.
All right. You want to steer this one? I'll steer that one. I point her to Car and I'll grab Caladrel by his sleeve.
Yep.
You got the key, right?
I have the key.
Good.
So where should we go? Where will we be safe? We're reasonably close to Foxglove's townhouse, right?
I propose we not go to a known location.
Fair enough.
I say, let's just rent a night someplace.
All right, I'm down with that idea.
Right. The map that you purchased.
Is there any place any hotels particularly close to the Oyster?
Why did I know you were going to ask that question?
Because you know your room.
I was actually expecting you to say we should go to the Oyster because no one will think to look for us there.
No, everyone would think to look for us there.
You will note, Jerome, that the Oyster does have rates for, renting a room for a period of time.
Yeah, but it's always sticky.
Yeah, and it's not the cheapest way to get yourself a room.
And everybody will be looking at Raina as the one and only female going, damn. 3 guys, one of whom is a Strix. Bring it.
Well, also, I kind of know that there's some people there that are looking for opportunities to make a quicker buck than what they could.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe seeing us going through our wares might not be the best place to do that.
Sticky rooms, sticky fingers.
Right.
Everything there is sticky. It's just covered in stick.
Stickiness, stickiness.
The underwears? I'm funny.
Get out.
We just got back.
Right. So we're gonna go rent a few rooms somewhere and go through our collections of the day.
Alrighty.
Sounds great.
Huzzah.
So yeah, I take it from the map that we have some options.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some.
I suggest we neither go to the most expensive place nor the cheapest. Somewhere nice in the middle. Maybe like,
Yeah, one of the sort of cheapest ones would be the Old Fang. It's listed down in Dockaway, which Jerome, Caladrel, Reyna, Dockaway is a little rough.
Yeah, not there.
Yeah. It's a tap room and a cheap inn built right on the docks, covered in barnacles below and peeling white paint above.
Lead.
It's a little close to Underbridge.
Yeah. Run by Old Maine Grottle. She's Varisian, though, so that's nice. Burly, no-nonsense matron runs this favorite local watering hole, decorated with nautical trophies of her late husband.
Just go to the House of Lords. Hang out there.
Rabble. You have to work on your parliamentary harumphs if you're going to go to the House of Lords.
I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Caladrel complains about 1% of Magmar owning almost all the wealth.
They kick you out of the House of Lords.
Yeah. It's like, that's the other house?
You're speaking to the
1%
right now. Yes, we own everything. Get out.
We own everything, including you. Now scram.
Scram, Lumpy. So we're back up on the cliff.
Yes.
Okay. So
I'd imagine there's probably some place nearby that is not too pricey, but is not in a rough part of town.
There is Low Cleft, which is pretty close to you. It's sort of 54, 51 area. Wow, the orientation of this map is not conducive to figuring out what I'm supposed to be looking at.
54 and 51 are not really very close together at all.
In that area, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
That sector of the city. I don't know which is which. L8 is... Damn it. Okay, that's just a weird thing. What is L6? L6.
You're just a weird thing.
Your face is
L6.
unappealing. L6. And then L6 is 52. 52 is the Dreaming Dryad. This elegant building's main entrance has been enchanted by illusions to give those who approach the uncanny feeling that they are looking through an arch of stone into the heart of a beautiful pastoral glade.
That works for me.
During the day, the view is one of the glade at the darkest of night, while in the evening, the glade brims with bright sunlight. Stepping through the arch, customers enter a thickly carpeted, darkly lit building, cramped and winding interior. The walls are soundproofed, and most doors can be locked from both sides by different keys.
Oh.
Maybe this isn't a good place to go.
The building itself is a maze of rooms, both large and small, the vast majority of which are located below ground. Owned and operated by Vert Clytus, a Parisian.
Dungeons?
Dreaming Dryad is listed in Pediment Building Records as a Class 3 inn, indicating a multi-story establishment that combines an eatery, a tavern, and other personal services under one roof.
I mean, I like it. I'm intrigued. I'm a little frightened about the prospect of someone being able to lock me in my room.
Yeah, but rape dungeons.
Yeah, I say we go for it.
All right. Head on down to the Dreaming Dryad.
Do they have themed rooms?
The theme is generally smoky and strung out, you find.
Oh, I was hoping for a mermaid room.
Right?
My
I want
kind
to
of
go to the
place.
sea.
There are a lot of colors, though. And as you enter the building and breathe a few times, there are more colors than there were before.
I assume that they have either they have stables or there are stables nearby. Have some place to put the horse.
Yes, they
And
do have. Yes.
empty wagon after we unload all of our stuff into a room. Actually, after we get some rooms.
You do have the feeling that this is indeed a drug parlor, more than an eatery or tavern as the bill listed it. But you also feel that it offers a level of privacy, that it's where people go to not be noticed doing things.
Do they have Pesh at this drug parlor?
Ash?
Pesh.
Well, yes, I guess. Not listed here.
That's specialty from the desert. Is Pesh. Alright, so we obtain some rooms, hopefully for somewhat cheap. I'm hoping that we can, like, bunk and only have to get 2 rooms.
There are some multi-occupancy rooms that are geared towards parties.
Oh, sweet. Then we can get 1 room. And
Party room!
more people available to make sure nobody tries to steal our shit. To fund their disgusting drug habit. So we get a room. And we go to said room.
All right. The room is
Here we are in the room.
the room is sort of garishly decorated, but there are a lot of pillows around.
I like it.
In fact, it's mostly pillows.
I like that.
So many pillows!
Oh gosh.
Your appraise checks look a lot like mine.
Yeah, but I'm supposed to be good at this.
I mean,
Well, so am I, because I'm the thief.
you can add a profession tailor. I will state that now. If you are making a appraise check on a thing that you have a profession in, you can add your profession check to it. Jerome, the pillows, although squishy, aren't particularly expensive.
Yeah, it's mostly just kind of a theme. Are they going for a particular like Parisian motif? Is that what I'm getting? Like the kind of like cheesy throw pillows in a tent.
Yeah, it feels that way in this room anyway. You feel like that. It doesn't really, I don't know. It doesn't really strike you as particularly authentic.
Yeah.
Sort of a pantomime play version of 1001 Parisian Nights kind of thing.
Well, I suppose it'll do.
They aren't pillows like Mama used to make.
Mom didn't make pillows.
What did she make, Jerome?
Made corpses.
Yikes. Is there much of a market in that sort of thing?
Depends on what they were before they were corpses.
Right? Okay, so we have arrived in a room. I am going to look it over to make sure that there aren't any, like, peepholes, any, like, paintings with fake eyes that follow you and look at all of our stuff.
All right, for a 19,
No, 19.
you can be fairly certain that there are no peoples or peepholes.
No peoples, no peepholes.
The walls all seem to be fairly solid as you go around curiously tapping at them to the amazement of your party.
Why should my party be amazed?
Honestly, might think that you've gotten a little bit paranoid recently.
A little bit.
I'm unhappy about being in Magnamar, but mostly it's like leftovers from fucking Foxglove Manor, where
only,
everything went wrong.
Yeah, if only just they have this perception, if only just out of the party's reputation for chaotic carelessness.
Speaking of Foxglove, the Foxglove place, we never got dinner, so I suggest we order room service.
Is that a thing? Room service?
There is indeed a menu that some of the items on it are food.
There's going to be a lot of rooms here that are getting the munchies.
Yeah, there are
It's a
snack-based menu. The items that aren't drugs, or
they have some. Are there some Parisian small plate platters?
Yeah, there's some tapas.
Oh, Jesus.
Are we excited about the prospect of inviting other people into our room?
Anyways.
Okay, so.
Are we getting individual rooms?
No, we have a party-sized room.
Yeah, this is a party room.
Okay, so who's keeping first watch?
Well, it's the middle of the day, so I don't know that it's time for sleepies yet.
There's throw pillows everywhere. I'm making a pillow fort.
Oh man, kick ass.
And after all the fighting that I had to do earlier, I'm taking a little lie down. So if you guys want to start cruising through your looting.
Incidentally, for a party your size and to engage the party room for the minimum time period of 2 hours, will run you 5 gold.
Wait, are we only getting it for like just a couple hours while we regroup, or are we actually getting it for the night?
Well, at 5 gold for 2 hours, like...
Yeah, this isn't strictly an inn, so they have higher rates.
It would be 40 gold a night. So, check out all this cool shit I got. And I whip it out to show the party.
Reyna whips out the contents of her box.
Womp, womp, womp.
Filthy.
What? You don't have to make it weird. That's... Wow, there's some value here.
Stuff. Wonderful stuff. We love stuff. We're very excited about stuff.
Seems like there might actually be enough here to pay the fee. Imagine that.
Right?
And then maybe also like enough to then equip ourselves.
Hopefully.
Sure.
Since we burned through all of the money that What's-His-Face gave us. Or was going to give us.
Don't we still have a few more rounds of like transactions with them? Your currency exchanges?
It's possible.
I know for a fact there was at least one more. I'm not sure if there was any more than that.
Anyways,
There were 7 more.
so what all was in? So what were all the special things other than the gold and platinum bars?
So we ended up with 6 bars of platinum, some jars that I don't show to Caladrel, this really cool dagger that...
Don't. What am I not seeing?
Nothing. I didn't say that I wasn't showing them to Caladrel. I don't show them to Caladrel. I'm going to check out my cool dagger again as I'm showing other people.
It's definitely masterwork. It's also old. Also still cold.
Why is this thing cold? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Like, you've been in the sun.
Can
That just doesn't even make any sense.
Can I do like a spellcraft or something to detect if it's a magical item?
Well, detecting a magic would be detect magic.
Yeah, okay, I have that.
Yeah. Spellcraft, you're going to need an example of its effects, or you're going to need the incantation, or you're going to need the results of detect magic.
All right, I'll do the detect magic.
All right.
So we want to get 2 small or a large?
Yeah. So, Jerome spends some time staring at the dagger, says some things, waves his hand about. Jerome, there is it's magical. That's a magic.
Oh wait, we got magic here, guys. There's magic here.
See, nobody
It's
cares.
going to do a terrible thing to my body.
It's
But why is it cold?
whoa, that's whoa. That aura that's dark. That's funky.
Is evil?
That's
Is it evil?
wow, is that I don't know, spellcraft.
Doop, 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 doop. Waiting on Jerome.
Sorry, I'm trying to order food right now.
We figured.
This one.
Okay, done.
Sorry, what was I asked?
It's a strange, a slightly worrying aura. You need to make a spellcraft check.
Now you say spellcraft.
Yeah, well, you gotta have something to Jesus. That's
I was saving up for this one.
that's necromantic.
Ooh.
That's
I was right.
That's for the undead.
That's
No likey.
boy,
Bad.
yeah,
Mal.
that's a necromantic aura. Wow, is that something about stealing some what? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Is this a health stealer?
Yeah, that's gonna steal a little bit of life.
Nice.
That's just a little bit.
A
Also,
little vampiric.
yeah. Also, it seems to have a little bit of necromantic
Little necromantic.
little necro damage. The thing they call that I can't think of right now for some reason.
Necrotic damage?
There you go. Little necrotic. Little like +1 necrotic.
Almost neurotic. Almost neurotic.
That's almost a little weird.
Almost a little, yeah.
Well, that's
What do you do? What are you doing with the voices?
that makes you a little uncomfortable. That makes your voice go up in a strange way.
No, not really. Actually, it's. Anyways, who wants the death stick? The death dagger.
Me, still. Because now sneak attack is even more sneaky.
Mechanics of this are that on a successful critical, you will do an additional D4 of necrotic damage.
Damn!
And also, you will steal that amount of life back to you from your target.
But only on a successful critical.
Yes.
Cool.
On general use, it is basically a +2 magical dagger. So it's still stabby.
Alright. Add new weapon. Okay.
This this is a seriously enchanted item. This isn't the sort of thing you come across every day, Jerome.
Sorry?
This isn't the sort of thing you come across every day. There's a serious
The dagger?
a serious level of enchantment here. Also seems to be fairly old.
Do I have any kind of feeling like this would have any effects or issues to the user?
Well, you wouldn't want to stick yourself with it.
No, I mean like I don't sense like any like additional curse. It seems to be purely beneficial for the user of said dagger.
It be a cursed item.
Hmm?
Doesn't seem to be a cursed item, and you're not detecting like sentience or anything.
Okay. Well, this is a hell of a little pricker here.
I am excited.
Jerome, is detect magic sort of a cone in front of you?
Yes.
Boy, that velvet bag is
Pinging.
pretty magical.
You're getting some pings.
Yeah. Sorry, that's the full thing.
All right.
How do I... When I'm putting the thing in the character sheet, it's got the thing in the front for enhancements. So it's like a +2, you said?
Yeah.
So I'm putting 2 here. And it is masterwork?
Yeah, well, it's magic, so it's automatically masterwork.
Okay.
You said I was sensing something from within the bag or the bag?
Well, it's coming from the bag area.
Is there something
The
else
answer
in this
is
bag?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting.
There's a wooden box, and inside the wooden box is another bag, apparently. But yes, there's an amulet in here. I mean, it didn't seem like it was
Can I
worth
take a
very
look?
much.
Can I take a look at the amulet? I like.
Yeah, go ahead, but I thought it was just sort of junky.
I take a look at said amulet. What else do I see in the bag?
I mean, it's sort of a cheap velvet, to be honest.
A cheap velvet?
Yeah, it's,
Okay, well then let me do the appraise then on the amulet. Damn it.
it's a little gaudy. It is magical, though.
All right. Do I get enough? Do I have enough sense on my on what it is to try to discern it better with spellcraft?
Yeah, as you're sort of staring at this thing, it kind of seems empty.
The amulet seems empty.
Yeah, in sort of an odd way. Make me a spellcraft check. It's That's just weird. You don't know what to make of that.
I hand it over to Caladriel. Here, maybe it's looks like something you'd wear. Caladriel here.
Kind of weird for them to keep such crappy costume jewelry in, their super secret safety deposit box.
Cal eyes Jerome real carefully. So what's it do?
We don't know. It's just
No, I don't know. It's
ugly.
kind of empty. Here, try it on.
Okay. Caladriel puts it on.
And Caladriel's now lich.
Caladriel puts the amulet on, and suddenly there's only the amulet. No. But that would be hilarious.
Worst invisibility amulet ever.
The amulet just clatters to the floor. You feel like the amulet is now full.
What?
This is you in a nutshell.
What?
Like the amulet is the shape of a nutshell?
Caladriel asked you what it does.
And then I put it on.
And then he put it on. You don't feel anything, Caladriel.
No? Like, am I still feeling everything I felt before, or is there a sudden lack of any kind of feeling?
No, I mean, other than the slight weight of the amulet itself, you feel no different. You do feel a little bit fancier.
Caladriel does a couple of poses. Looks pretty cunning, don't you think?
It certainly is you.
Nobody?
Man, with an amulet like that, walks down the street, ain't afraid of nothing.
Yeah.
On closer inspection of this, it seems to have a little bit of like I don't know. The motif is almost sort of a frame in nature. And then there's sort of like a starbursty kind of thing.
Nope. Can't think of anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's magic. You just don't quite know what. Also,
Oh, well, it's probably not that important.
yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal. Remember,
Does anyone else here have spellcraft?
you've heard of magical amulets.
I do.
They do various things.
What am I doing with this?
Beating me.
I don't have identifier or anything, though. I'm gonna take a
Yeah, that's
question.
tricky. You're going to have to
I mean, I
go off of Jerome's description
like
of
an empty.
what he feels about it. Jerome, the penalty at which Caladriel will take on this roll depends on your actual RP description right now.
I mean, if we want to waste a day, I can brew up an elixir tomorrow. But I didn't have one prepared
Let me
today.
just explain to you.
An
what I was
elixir of know exactly what this thing is and how to use it.
Well, an elixir of identify.
So let me explain to you what I was sentenced. I was definitely getting a ping off of this when after we figured out the dagger, and when I was looking into it, I was getting this kind of just emptiness kind of feeling, but I couldn't put my finger on exactly what it was. I looked at it for a little while, but I almost feel like it's almost there, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Wait, what?
I'm describing the sense that I've gotten from doing my detect magic and my spellcraft.
Your
Okay.
thoughts like keep turning to the box that held it in concept.
Wait, do I know that it was in the box?
Yes.
Yeah, not the safety deposit box, but the little wooden box that was inside the velvet bag.
Oh.
You keep feeling an affinity with the box, with the bag.
What do I perceive on the box? Like, do I see any symbols on the box or anything? Or do I even see a box? Is there even a box?
It's got a light grain to it.
What do I notice?
But that seems to be Coca-Cola wood. Kind of neat.
Hard to come by in this area, you know.
You could probably make some katanas and sell a mail order out of that.
Really, really, really small katanas.
A wacky sashi?
Leather opener katanas with Coca-Cola handles. Caladrel, with your 26 spellcraft, you find your way through Jerome's secondhand description of the effects of the aura that he noticed on this. Sort of like searching your way through alchemical recipes in a book. There's a lot there that isn't what you're looking for, but there are a few hints here and there. And you sort of think back to his feeling like the box, the bag, empty, and it just suddenly comes to you, that's an amulet of spell holding. Or spell storing, I should say.
You know, Jerome, I think this would be better for you.
Yeah? What's it do?
Yeah. Well, you cast a spell in it, basically. And it'll hold it for you. And then you can use it later.
How long will it hold it for?
Until you use it. I think. I mean, I don't really cast spells, so it's not going to do much for me.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh, man. Caladrel sighs and gives it back.
I'm only allowed to use one of my...
Because it really did set off your outfit.
Made my eyes really pop.
Yeah.
Pow!
Like, literally.
I'm only allowed to wear one amulet at a time, right? Yeah.
Right. Wait, what else are you wearing?
I have another amulet that's been on me, but I forget what it is. I think it was...
It was an
Is that the
amulet
I don't
of...
want to die of ghoul fever amulet? That had some other effects.
No, I took that back. After they were no longer dying of ghoul fever.
Did you forget to mark that, though?
I thought he had like an amulet of natural armor or something.
Yeah, I had like on my sheet I have an amulet of with +2 AC.
Yeah.
Oh,
Natural armor.
that's true. But, to be fair, you do have that waistcoat.
I do have that waistcoat. But then again, the amulet actually stacks with my mage armor.
It's true.
Anyways, you're probably more the you get hit a little bit more often than I do, anyways. So you should probably take this amulet.
Well, you can cast a spell into it, then. And I'll use it later.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
I guess.
I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine either taking the amulet and doing that, or priming the amulet for you. Whichever.
Okay. Galadriel puts it back on.
It does really match your eyes.
Doesn't it, though?
Well, I mean, Turkar could use a thing like that too.
Do
I
you got
suppose.
something that you want it primed with?
Not the spell thing, but the amulet of natural armor. If Jerome wanted to keep his spell storing amulet.
Well, you got the mage armor thing, right?
Hmm?
Right. You have mage armor, right?
I have
You
mage armor as a spell.
cast it. There we go. You cast it under the amulet and give it to Turkar.
So then Turkar has mage armor?
I mean, it's got to be recast after every use, but yeah.
Interesting.
All right, we can decide on what the spell is later. Just let's do it before I go to sleep. That way I can.
There would be a use magic device check for
Aha.
those not familiar with the arcane.
Liberating the spell from the thing requires. Okay.
You need to be able to.
Well, that'll be entertaining.
Yeah, that'll be hilarious.
I think I actually have at least 1 point in use magic device.
Well, there you go.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Especially
Precisely.
if I load it up with flame spear or something like that.
There is exactly just one chance in 10 million.
Oh dear.
Okay. What else we got? We got the box. Do I get any? Is my are my senses tingling anymore from my detects of the magics?
Well, it's a really nice box.
You're getting a bizarre half magic, half sense from Raina's pack. Actually, it feels like when you were poking around the basement of Foxglove Manor.
I give Raina a little look and nod at her bag and look back at her.
I give Jerome a wide-eyed look and a very subtle shake of the head. And then sort of look at Caladrel just with my eyes, and then look back at Jerome.
Okay, let's take a closer look at the box.
Then she smiles just with her mouth.
I'm gonna take a closer look at this box. Is there anything else about this box that's interesting?
While sort of silken lined and whatnot, it is probably about the right size for, a couple of wands. Could be repurposed. Nice box.
How is that possible?
I'll take it. I take out my pinking shears and place the pinking shears in the box. And then I take the box.
Yeah, it seems like, hey, this is a pinking shear box.
Fancy.
I am rebuilding my travel kit.
One separate item box at a time.
There'll be more stuff that goes in it.
That's how you do.
But you do want to keep the shears nice,
Yeah.
Okay, so finally I pull out,
Who's rustling?
Not me.
Hmm?
I ain't rustling shit.
It might be your microphone gone all stupid, Jeff, because you've been robotic for about the last 20 minutes.
It's not that. It's Drakkar.
Turkar, quit rustling. Fold your wings up and settle down.
Is this Raina? Do you have an inventory of all the stuff that we got from the house, the townhouse? You're writing all that jazz down.
Yeah, I've got 50 assorted gems, 200 platinum, 10 copper, boar, elk, and bear trophies, some various linens, some paintings, a gold ring, a marble sundial with a gold gnomon, a fancy dagger, silverware, 2 long swords, a rag, some knives, pots, and pans.
I will start taking a look at the linens and the zebra rug and contemplating.
I'm going to read the journal.
You forgot the bolts from the things that were bolted down.
Apparently, I didn't write that down.
I don't care that somebody's already come through and taken everything. I want to take everything else. Well done. So, Jerome, you're taking a look at the zebra rug. I mean, you have a thought of how you'd like to use it.
Do I? I'm still considering.
Yeah, it's starting to bring ideas into your head.
So the thing is not to use too large of a section at a time, because then it starts looking tacky. But it can look very nice if you have it like at that as a nice like fat trim on like a lapel or something like that, or a trim on a cloak.
And to be honest, if you use it as trim, you can make several of them for the people that see the other person in it and go, "Oh, I want one of those."
Mm-hmm.
Really takes that 35 gold rug and stretches it out into some significant profit.
Could make a killing back in Sandpoint.
Yeah, those people. I mean,
They'll wear anything.
yeah, they desperately need some accenting. You felt that, this whole time. Amiko is about the only one that dresses in, any sort of flashy, exotic fabric fashion and
Clearly, the guards need new uniforms.
zebra-based uniform, so they can hide among the prison bars. And then swing out.
Make the badger a little hat.
Badger. Just a little badger fez.
Yes.
A little
Yes.
zebra badger fez.
All
It's
right. Raina, you're reading the journal?
I am reading the journal.
all right. You find a detailed explanation from several people about the history of the Foxglove family, written from a first-person perspective, the dealings with Foxglove Manor, a couple of strange entries from one of the Foxglove patriarchs about, sort of feelings of anger and stuff directed towards his wife. And then that sort of entry ends and it starts up in a different hand. You find at the end of the book, you find Aldern Foxglove making several entries, basically about mundane things for the most part. He has an interest in reviving the Foxglove legacy, bringing the family back to a level of prominence that it once held, and that reclaiming Foxglove Manor and refurbishing it would be the best way to go about that. You find some details about, talking about fixing the place up. You find some notes about him meeting Aisha and a sort of a whirlwind courtship and sort of dreamy things like that. And a couple of other details around that, but there hasn't been a lot of entries recently from him. It seems to leave off with the last entry being that she agreed to marry him and that he was very, very happy about that.
Okay.
And that he wouldn't know what he would do without her. And this is a fairly old entry, from your reckoning.
Well, this thing showed such promise.
There's additional information in there, but I'm going to have to give it to you separately. And by separately, I mean I'm going to have to copy-paste it out of things.
Gotcha.
So I suppose there are some interesting revelations about the history of Foxglove Manor specifically, and other family things.
So
Get your feet out of my computer, please.
I mean, no. There was a mention made in the, one of the other things that we found that talked about, like, after 100 years or something, after the house had been built, it would revert to, Brotherhood ownership,
Yes.
because I guess the Brotherhood had loaned, might have been Voral, I don't know which one it was, the money to build the place.
Yes.
Was there any mention of that in the journal, of him, like the building of Foxglove Manor, or him borrowing money, that I could, like, get a date of when the place was built and then extrapolate 100 years to figure out when that...
Yes, there is, and I will be able to answer that question once I prepare the bit of information.
Okay.
Actually, you do also find a sort of scrawled additional loose leaf thing that falls out of it just as you're about to put it back. That seems to be a much more recent entry in sort of a panicked and sloppy hand from Aldrin Foxglove. That seems to be detailing his murder of his wife and sort of a panic and a lack of understanding as to where the rage that filled him came from.
Uh-oh.
And sort of a desire to seek out some sort of help to get this covered up.
Oh, when you said seek out some sort of help, I'm like, well, at least, he feels bad about it and he's wanting to see, like, a shrink or something. Like, no, he wants some help in covering up his murder.
Yep. So, you guys have money, some interesting items, and also a journal that provides interesting information into the mental state of various Foxglove patriarchs.
They were all crazy. They didn't need that insight.
Well, let's get this thing paid for and get the hell out of this city.
Yeah, that might be a thing.
Seriously.
You will remember that the deed that you found in Foxglove Townhouse talked about the Brotherhood of the Seven.
Yes.
And that the remainder of 34% of the funding of Foxglove Manor should be backed by collateral in the form of the Seven's sawmill. And that the ledger for the payment to B7 mentioned to leave said payment at the sawmill.
the ledger that talked about when the payments were made, when was the last payment made?
Is a good question. I think they have a specific answer.
And is there a pattern that which by we would be able to predict when the next payment should be expected to be made?
Yes.
The payments are to be made every oath day at midnight at a place called the Seventh Sawmill, is what it's listed down as. 200 gold pieces a week. The last payment was actually down for 600 gold pieces 3 weeks ago.
Huh. So we're coming up on a payment. They're paying.
Now,
You're a couple of days, probably 5 days from Oath Day this week.
So, was this this $600? It seems like that was a prepayment for a couple of weeks in advance, and not that he was a couple of weeks behind.
Yeah, the previous week was a 200 payment.
Okay.
That week, all the other ledgers seem to be 200. There's a couple of other times where there's a larger amount, and then there's a gap in time corresponding to a multiple of weeks.
Can assume that that was time that he was probably here in Magnamar. Do the time frames on that seem to correspond with any interesting event dates that we've known about?
A couple of weeks ago, goblins attacked Sandpoint. You were forced into, sort of a party relationship.
And that happened round about the time that
You met Aldern. He invited you on a boar hunt. He was in Sandpoint.
That 2 weeks seems a lot longer.
right?
Wait, what?
The
I
2
guess-
weeks he's referring to has encompassed the entire other 18 episodes.
Yep.
I think it might have been a little longer than 2 weeks now that I think about it. You might have a little downtime. Well, we'll say that it's like a prepayment of about a month or so. Anyway, suffice to say, the prepayment amount would have been made on a date like, somewhat before you met him initially, and would be ending, this week.
Okay. So, I guess the interesting question is, like, what?
That's what it was. The previous prepay amount for a couple of weeks was that coincided with his meeting you in Sandpoint during the goblin attack that first time.
Okay.
A bit further down the ledger, there is the current prepayment, which basically coincides with the beginning of murders, roughly.
Murder.
Not exactly as this, is like a little bit before, but
Interesting.
so that's a better explanation.
Okay. Well,
But yeah, you've got about 5 days until you figure the next payment would be expected, assuming that the agreement is still running.
Well, I would not think that it wouldn't be, but, like, we have this information, the question is, what do we do with it now?
I would say that we should definitely show up at the straw mill to figure out who these payments are going to, because that seems like a lead.
Well, it's going to the Brotherhood of the Seven.
Yes, and so we need a hostage in order to find out where their location is so that we can go in there and murder all of them.
I would be more than happy to pose as a
Dirty Varisian?
I'd expect this from Caladriel, but not from Estrex.
Oh, that was out of character.
Yeah.
Jakar's not paying attention to anything. He's just paranoid at everything right now.
No, I was going to say as a courier for the payment, or at least, play the part of. But we have some time before we have to fully hammer that out.
The trip from Sandpoint to Magnamar was, I think, 2 days.
We got a little bit of time, but not much.
And how many days do we have left?
5.
Okay.
So theoretically, you could there and back again with some time to spare if you wanted to capitalize on purchasing services and resolving the manor issue. Also, I take that back. The journey from Standpoint to Magnamar is about 2 days. The journey from Magnamar to Foxglove Manor is somewhat less. About a day and a quarter. Because Foxglove Manor is a little bit out of Standpoint.
All right, so if we go hire somebody, I imagine that we won't set out today because I would assume that today's kind of almost shot. So we'd set out tomorrow. If we went there and back, that's gonna burn like what, 3 days to do that whole thing. At which point we only have the like 1 day left. And I don't think that we're going to be able to get from Magnamar to the sawmill unless we didn't come back to Magnamar at all. We just went from the thingy back to the sawmill.
Yeah.
Make knowledge local checks.
Okay.
The sawmill is like right outside Magnamar, right? I mean, it's just right next door. That's how it works.
All right. Reyna, bolstered by having a map, you will know that the Seven's sawmill is 74. On that island.
Island. Okay.
Right in the middle of the Yandamakari River.
So, for some reason, I've spent all of this time thinking that this was the sawmill in Sandpoint that they were talking about. Just because there were things that happened at that sawmill.
No, that's Titus Scarnetti's sawmill.
Yeah.
Everybody got that sawmill.
Yeah. All right. So
There's been a lot of deaths in sawmills recently. They've been getting a little, dare I say it, grave-y.
gravy. I don't want to be a pie. All right. So who has a brilliant idea?
Not me.
Droom, you're nominated.
I'm searching the map, Raina, for the sawmill's location.
Mm-hmm.
You will notice something you didn't notice before and didn't remember.
Sorry, I was away from the keyboard to get pizza.
There's the Cathedral of Abadar
Mm-hmm.
and the Temple of Pharasma.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a Temple of Iomedae.
Oh. Interesting.
Number 29.
Who's Omade?
Is it? Is it interesting? Who's Omade?
I mean, it says Temple of Iomedae, so it seems like some sort of religious thing. Need a knowledge religion check.
Hold on a second. I'm still trying to find 29. Are we
It's like right
are
next
we
to it.
standing right on top of it?
It's right next to Caladrel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Hold on a second.
You just didn't go down that street. What can I say?
Hold on a second. Are you holding?
Nope.
Wow, Drakar. Wow. Continue holding. I have to roll for myself too. There you go. Blink. All right.
All right. It's your room. Iomedae. It's like some sort of honor, goddess, righteousness, something. Caladrel. These are the paladin people. Iomedae, she's the goddess of righteousness, valor, justice, honor, serious defense of good, battle against evil.
The
These are
biggest
committed.
pains in our asses.
So this, no wonder I didn't know very much about it.
Yeah.
What a waste of time.
What did you say, Caladrel?
For the biggest pains in our asses.
These are people that are just fundamentally opposed to evil and stamping it out at nearly any cost.
Good,
Also,
good,
ones that
bad,
have
good,
fun.
bad, good. Bad.
Maybe you
the
can go
fun
scare
of
him with your
income.
dagger.
What?
Is there what?
No.
Is there what?
Ad. Sorry, there was an ad playing that distracted me. It's terrible.
Jerome?
Oh, I was gonna say, oh no, I was just making commentary. I was saying maybe Raina can go scare him with her dagger.
Why would I do that?
Caladrel, you would be reminded that necromantic practice and lichdom are generally considered to be inherently evil
Right.
abominations.
Ooh, so maybe it'll be cheaper,
Right?
or maybe they'll
You don't
just
have
do
to
it
for
for
free.
free.
Well, let's go find out.
Let's do.
Raina, keep your dagger in the cart when we go there.
Okay.
Just saying.
So we depart the smiling Dracula? Something with a D.
yeah, like, yeah,
The place that we
yeah. You leave the place.
were.
The smiling opium den.
Yes.
Is something dry at?
The grinning poppy.
That can't feel my face.
The spread eagle harpy.
All right. So you head out down the street. You're like, hey, that's down the street.
No,
You
that'd
go
be a
down the
good bar
street.
name, the Spread Eagle.
Yeah, that would be if it had that upstairs
Takar, I'm looking at you as a business partner.
saloon name. You are confronted with a fortress-like temple.
Jeez.
And as you approach, actually, they're sounding the daily call to glory and preaching of honor, sacrifice, and spiritual rewards.
Woo! My favorite.
Yeah.
What do I know about their practices, and could I mimic them?
No. You have the sense they generally hit things with swords a lot of the time. Like, bad things. Same, Galadriel.
What?
I was just thinking I might blend in a little bit.
Yeah, they're swordy people. They got swords. And they're always talking about
Swords and
bad,
sword-related activities.
being bad. Good.
Oh my god!
Bad.
Good. Bad.
I'm the one with the gun.
What do you knowledge religion this time? We don't get to just keep trying it until it works. They seem to be open, though.
Okay. So, was Jakar staying with the cart because he was terrified to go places? Was that a thing?
I was totally terrified of going places, but I don't know if I stayed or not.
There's some people around this temple, Jakar, that are in full plate in a way that makes you a little nervous, except their plate armor isn't black. They don't seem to be covered in the symbols of Cheliax in any way. They're literally in shining armor.
Delightful.
But you do have a general distrust for people in a lot of armor and official looking.
So yeah, I guess that I am less angry at the moment.
I hail one of the nearest guards and say, could you possibly direct us to somebody that could help us with an issue we might have? We need to employ some services of a cleric or someone who can try to what's the spell we're looking for?
Hallow, I think.
Yeah.
Hallow a cursed place.
Yes, my child. Welcome to the Temple of Iomade. You have stumbled upon some evil?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big old heaping pile of it.
Horrible, gross pile of evil.
What was this like?
Lich.
They were.
Lich.
Yeah.
Bingo bango. That's what he said.
The chaplain immediately goes from somewhat dismissive, as usually the types of evil that are brought to his attention are my neighbor keeps.
Oh, my daughter needs an exorcism. Blah blah blah.
My neighbor keeps letting his dog shit on my lawn.
Also, they took my baby.
Yeah. Also,
Disregard that part. There's a lot of illusions that seem to happen in the.
And he stiffens like visibly. A lich, you say?
Well,
At least one. At least.
yeah. Yeah.
Liches, ghouls, hauntings.
Gas.
Yeah.
We killed all the things in the place that we could kill. Then we had our local town cleric go and do consecration in there, but he didn't know how to do the hell. He's just the local town cleric. You know how small towns are.
And there are places in that building that we were not able to check in.
Oh. Well, and small towns are often the front lines in the fight against evil. Certainly wouldn't underestimate a cleric. Where do you hail from? Where is this?
Near Sandpoint.
Sandpoint.
Let's get some frontline folks up here, huh? Chop, chop.
Sandpoint has the.
Chop. Chop.
Caladrel, let the man speak.
Sandpoint has the cathedral.
Yes, with Father Xanthus there.
Yeah, Father Santa's useless.
He was very helpful.
Follower of Desna, I believe. But there is a niche for Almude in the cathedral. I do remember them consecrating it some time back.
Well, we've got the consecrating part covered. We need the hallowing.
Near Sandpoint, you say, though?
It's a
manor along the coast. Just
yes.
South of, a ways south of Sandpoint.
Yes. I'm not surprised a cleric of Desna, of Father Xanthus, though, a capable man would not necessarily have the ability to fully banish this evil. They tend not to be the warriors that my order are.
Well, he held his own fairly well against, say, murder of murderous crows.
Yeah.
So there are many manifestations in the area. Do you think they are linked to this?
Probably.
Well, there's definitely something going on. If they're...
Now, how do you know he is there? I mean, he could leave, and then consecrating the ground. I mean, liches come back after you kill them. So, if you've killed him and then you want me to consecrate the ground there so that he doesn't come back, he may have already come back already in the time it took you to come back out here.
Well, he didn't... I'm very confused. We have a phylactery.
You have the phylactery.
I don't think we have it with us. We left it with Father Xanthus.
We destroyed it.
No, we did actually destroy it. That's right. Okay.
Destroyed the phylactery.
It seemed to be damaged in the original the original process. Did not seem to be a completed process.
Oh, a partial lich.
Yes, and so we were able to destroy the phylactery with the help of Father Xanthus, and simultaneously using the forge at the local blacksmith.
This is a very interesting method. He describes, did it have the sort of smoky thing come out of it and then sort of dissipate?
I think so.
Yes, the magic smoke did come out.
Oh.
I'm only thinking so because, as a player, I don't remember. It's been a really long time.
Oh, well, unorthodox, but apparently effective. It makes sense that you say that the ritual for the lich didn't quite go as planned. So that didn't take care of the whole situation, though. some sort of lingering effect? Can you go
There
into
seems to be
this?
this
Lead you over to the corner of the church. Now I'm more interested.
there seemed to be this moss that was growing along the walls there that just seemed to be uncanny. Fire could destroy it, but it quickly grew back. And there seemed to be
Also,
a
it had
body.
a face in it.
Yeah, there was a body implanted in the wall.
It's possible that during this unholy ritual, the lich in question may have bound himself to the location in addition to partially to the phylactery, which would have been his goal.
We did get possessed a few times in the house.
Yeah, that does make sense. I think there is a bright point in this if all you relate is accurate. I think we should be able to assist you. Something a little bit shy of the third level harrowing, or what did I say?
Hallowing.
Hallowing. Something a little bit shy of the third level should still do it. If it is indeed as failed an attempt as you describe.
Well, I mean, we weren't there. We can't attest firsthand to it having been a failure.
Yes, we were not part of the failing of it. We didn't. This is we came after the fact.
Well, understandable. But you describe its effects, and from those and my knowledge and experience in fighting these misguided souls, it adds up. Your description makes some sense. I think first level should be able to do it, which is good news, as it is a rather intensive spell and somewhat costly in material components.
Yes, we had heard about that.
But the first level makes that considerably less. And you say there were, like, you mentioned ghasts and...
Yeah, there were some ghouls and ghasts and a giant bat.
And how did you stumble across this?
Face first, usually.
Yes. It had been the residence of an acquaintance of ours, whom we had not heard from in a while. So we went to check on him and found all sorts of unpleasantness.
Oh, well, I hope your friend got out of there.
In one sense.
It's a rude awakening during a social call. I'm glad you were able to survive.
So are we, certainly.
Well,
I wasn't that worried.
with the standard rates and material components, which unfortunately the market is the way the market is, and I would dearly love to be able to fight evil pro bono, but
The market is a cruel mistress.
sadly you'd think that there would be more interest in stopping evil, but alas. With standard material components for the spell, it should be, what did I say, 2,000 gold for just the base thing?
I thought it was something like that. I don't remember.
It got a lot more expensive if you wanted the higher levels.
Yeah, I think that the other place wanted to sell us the undercoating. I mean, They are they are of merchants.
Oh, I take it that you spoke to the Temple of Abadar.
Did do.
Yes, we weren't familiar with your temple when we first arrived in town. We only knew of theirs.
Well, I have to admit, it does have a better placement on the main street and is a bit more flashy. If you
Yes, but flashy doesn't always cut it. Though
Very true. And he pats the long sword at his side. Still, useful fellows if you want to store some goods, I suppose.
Oh no, yes, the services seem to be impeccable in that regard.
Not super knowledgeable in the consecration or hallowing of ground, so I wouldn't necessarily assume right out that they would take you for something if they quoted you a different price. Always try to see the best in people
Mm-hmm.
and drive out the worst.
So what is he charging us?
Well, you said material costs would be 2,000. Do you have any other per diems or labor costs involved? I mean, you still have to.
Honestly, I believe that there's a thousand of material costs, and the actual casting comes to 700 gold pieces.
Sweet Jesus. Can one of us just become a cleric and do this ourselves?
Let's just get this over with. We can afford
it's
it.
actually a bit cheaper. Now, if there had been some sort of broader threat, then the church has a discretionary fund for fighting evil in general. Though it seems to be a isolated incident, you came across simply through a social visit.
Well,
So if like it was just a general evil air in Sandpoint in general, this would be a lot cheaper.
Well, we do have an emergency fund. Yes, if it was running amok, we have to prioritize our efforts. You understand, there is a lot of evil.
well,
so
what
somehow
if
somehow knowing what it is makes it cost more. I don't understand that.
No, not knowing what it is, it's the broadness of its effect.
in that regard, what would you say if I told you that there had been ghouls found in the town?
I would ask you why you didn't mention it earlier.
Well,
Slipped their mind.
didn't think that it was relevant.
Please, I've seen ghouls rip through a town. It's something you remember.
I didn't say that it had slipped my mind. Just said that we were thinking that the Lich was the primary issue here. Yes, the ghouls are a problem, but
Perhaps you
You
should.
cut the fish off by the head.
Perhaps you should retell the story of your discovery of this evil.
This whole religiosity thing seems awful lucrative.
I love Caladriel.
religiosity to the fuzzy wuzzies or some such.
So it all starts with murder.
Murdered.
Murder.
Yes.
Most all. Go on.
And the murder seemed to lead us to tellings of an issue coming from one of the farmers outside of town. We suspected that maybe he was involved. When we went out to the town, there was a number of ghouls on site there. And was that where we discovered the letter that sent us to the manor? Or no, one of the murders in town had the letter.
Yeah.
The shopkeeper that he killed. The guy you
I,
bought the watch from.
I know I've been kept up at some nights hearing moans wafting through the halls.
That was me.
Oh, gross.
Reyna is actually snickering. It's not just me.
Track this murderous spree and flesh-eating monsters down to this proto-lich sort of thing at the house, yes?
Yes. And we didn't know that when we first got to the house, but after we started seeing some of the stained glass windows on the back of the house, they seem to be depicting the process of becoming a lich and creating a phylactery.
Oh my. Well, that's not information that. Yes, no, that shall have to be dealt with. Yes. Let me go talk to the prior. I might be able to get you an emergency fund dispensation.
Grand. We'll wait here.
Yeah, it won't
Yes.
be a moment. Feel free to listen to the sermon.
Sounds splendid today.
No.
A little short on funds and long on ghouls.
So,
He
goes back into the sort of some other room in the temple.
feel like right now we're at the gates of the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yes.
What?
Officer.
You're doing? Well, that's great. Let me talk to my superiors.
Yeah, it's very much like that. In that he's covered in metal.
And carrying a machine gun.
Yes, exactly.
And or laser gun.
So after a while, both the paladin you were talking to and a much older man wearing no armor at all, just simply vestments, and walking with basically a staff
Yeah, wild delicious.
that has at the top of it a stylized sword crossguard still, which is kind of neat. Wanders up and says, they told me that you found a lich.
A partial lich.
Part of a lich?
A lit, if you will.
Stemming from this taint, there was some sort of murderous ghoul infestation, yes?
Yeah, that's basically.
And you say that the structure of the house is itself an instructional manual on lich?
There did seem to be three levels to the house that all had stained glass windows depicting from the top to top bottom the steps of the process.
Yeah, I believe there were 15 windows altogether, 5 on each level.
Yes, can you describe them to me?
Yes, I go into a lurid detail from my memory.
As you, he's listening intently. As you start describing, his expression darkens progressively, and he starts to nod along in a sort of slow, worried fashion. Yes,
And that's just the face that I had when I was down there.
yes, that's no good. That's not public knowledge.
Well, the windows in question look out over the sea, but still.
Yes, but you just wandered into the house yourselves, didn't you?
Yes, but we had rather a difficult time of it. The house is haunted.
Yes, well, I certainly don't trust evil to protect people from evil. Yes, I think you're very right, Paladin Absalom, for coming to me with this matter. I think it is indeed worthy of a response fund disbursement. Should cover a portion of the material components, and yes, this should bring the whole thing down to
25 gold. I got this.
Just about 1,000 gold, I would say.
Done. Let's do it.
I don't suppose you would be willing to lead us to this accursed property.
I mean,
Well, when I say us, I mean Paladin Absalom.
So, Father, can I call you Father? Father, how does one go about getting into this gold-making business?
We should talk. He is interested in joining up with your church, but we should talk about this after we go and visit the house.
I'm interested in the money-making practices.
Yes, he is. He is. Would love to be a very devout follower.
Of the money.
Yeah.
I elbow Caladrel in the rib really hard.
Kirk.
If you are interested in money, you should probably check with the folks over there at Abadar.
Oh, I don't know. It seems like this bank makes quite a bit more.
This is not a bank.
Are you
And
sure?
I think that our friend here might still have some lingering effects from the house. We should probably go take care of that.
He was possessed, after all.
They're fleecing us like a bank.
I
Really not
take
normally like.
Caladrel and walk away with him.
We are the 99%.
I am dragging him away. So, you remember
Make a
how...
perception check.
Who?
Everyone who cares to. Basically,
Nope.
well, Caladrel notices, which is interesting.
Hold on, I have to roll for 2 people and it takes forever.
Reyna and Caladrel, you notice that Paladin Absalom has pulled his sword out about an inch.
Really?
Greed is evil, Caladrel. And you
So
will
they should be
notice...
attacking themselves.
Now,
you will notice, like, they're charging us a third of what the other church was charging us.
actually a fourth. We had to make 4,000.
Oh.
I obviously don't see the sword, but I still notice that these guys have tension. And like Caladrel has been like mouthing off. It's like it's been a very long day for us. It's more than that. It's been several long weeks for us. I apologize for my friend's behavior. We're all just a little on edge.
So as I'm leading Caladrel away, I'm muttering things like, why are you ruining this? Why are you trying to make it so that we can't do the thing that we came here to do?
Because you get a discount.
We already got a discount. A big one. So, why are you...
If
Because
anyone's going to be flopping their
pissing
gums
people
to get us a discount, I think I'm going to be the better one at it.
pissing people off is not the way to get a discount. It's a way to get kicked out and no services rendered.
Well, I was just kicked out, effectively.
Yes, I am kicking you out, but they're still going to help us.
We'll still have services rendered. Reyna, I do a little like in the air hand grabby thing, intending to say like throw me the coins.
I chuck 2 bars of platinum at him.
That is way too much.
1,000 gold, that's 2 bars of platinum.
Less than 1.
Were you not paying attention?
Of course not.
Was it not? I thought it was 3 bars worth 1,500 gold each.
No,
Oh,
3 bars worth a total of 1,500 gold.
Nice.
500 gold apiece.
I
Bar
get
is
it.
the equivalent of 50 coins.
I get it.
All the money is
Do
belong to the
you?
church.
Yes.
Do you get it?
Do you?
Do you not? Can't or won't?
I take 2 bars. I turn to our two new friends here and say I trust that this should cover the our half the costs.
It's a little unorthodox, but I should do. Uh, go, go fetch the purser. Purser. Where is that man?
Did the priest just swear?
Yes. They're a rough and tumble order.
I mean, these guys are down in the trenches. You gotta expect a little.
Profanity.
Yes.
They Paladin Absalom stalks off in a different direction.
Why is he stalking?
Because somebody pissed him off.
Comes back a little while later with a small,
I don't know who that could be.
bespectacled elven gentleman, a little bit gaunt and a little bit socially awkward.
He's a ghoul. Kill him. I don't actually say that.
I mean, elves are thin in general. He's just a little more gangly than.
Extra thin.
He seems to lack some of the grace. So a lot of it comes across as gangle. Yes, Prior, you sent for me? Yes. Please take these into account and weigh them that they come out to 1,000 platinum equivalents.
1,000 gold.
Right, 1,000 gold equivalents is what I said, because of course I didn't make that mistake. I want to make sure that if there's any change involved, that we can dole it out to these fine adventurers. Right away. Grabs the bars, scuttles off in the direction that he came from. And a little while longer, he comes back with
The news that this is actually titanium and he only needs 1 bar.
it comes back with a gold piece.
Woo!
Actually, one of the bars was slightly heavier than the other, so yes, they did.
I take the coin. I believe that this should go into the donation box.
Yes.
Thank you. You have aided the fight against evil in several ways today.
First and foremost, by dragging Caladril out.
And murdering him in the streets.
Right? It's a public service.
Shame! Gong! Shame!
Paladin, do you have any business, or can you leave immediately? I was nothing that won't wait in the service of smiting evil. Good man. The Paladin is willing to go immediately if you are available to lead him to this source.
Off we go, I guess.
Thank you, and I hope today watch over all of you. Blessings. Keep you safe from evil.
I certainly hope so.
Is his title Prior? Would that be how I would address him?
Prior, yeah.
Thank you, Prior.
And he goes sort of back to the office area, and Paladin Absalom is standing in front of you. All right. Do you have transport?
We have one horse and a wagon, but we came here on foot, mostly.
And you say it's just a little bit outside of Standpoint, so what?
But about a day and a quarter's walk.
Well, that's not too bad.
If you get tired, you're certainly welcome to ride in the wagon.
I never get tired in the face of evil.
Well, the facing evil part, I mean, certainly the excitement, but the walking for, like, 28 hours part.
Yeah, you should have seen Paladin training.
You'll
Really?
have to tell us about it exhaustively on the trip.
Why? Why would you
Which
tell us?
definitely goes into great length the different feats involved in Paladin training.
As we're leaving town.
Yes.
Not right now, in the middle of town.
Yeah, no, on the walk. A personal sacrifice, past victories against the forces of evil. Claims to have actually fought and defeated like a hellhound.
Oh my.
Ooh. How exciting. I just like stories, so I'm hanging on to every word.
All right, so after a while of your trip to come around out of the city and up onto sort of the plains there, and then within sight of a familiar and foreboding house,
Did we sleep along the way?
presumably, yes.
So I have all my spells back.
You at least, yes.
Yes, I definitely took opportunity to sleep in the wagon.
Yeah, there was an opportunity to alchemicalize.
Which I do in spades.
No, he said there wasn't.
What?
You have to set things up. It's fiddly. It's not to be done on a bumpy wagon.
Well, sure it is. That makes it more exciting.
Not with my horse. No.
It tastes just like raisins.
So, if there is an opportunity where, like Caladrel is not hovering directly over my shoulder, I will ask Paladin Absalom, like what the significance of the mold is, and like what might the ramifications of
Licking.
eating it be?
Well, first off, flatly, I wouldn't recommend it. Secondly, why would you do that?
I wouldn't, and I didn't, but I can't speak only for myself. Yeah.
I felt a bit of an urge to, but I was able to resist it.
Yeah, the thought never even crossed my mind. I don't know what it is with you people.
It's good. infect you with all sorts of disease and evil. Theoretically, every witch transformation is somewhat unique in its manifestations. So,
This
Um, is
certainly one for the books.
yeah. Would there be a way of sort of ascertaining what the effects have been for someone who ate the mold?
I could try to sense an evil influence in them, and perhaps.
I'm pointing. I'm just like straight up, just blatantly pointing at Galadriel.
Yeah,
Do I notice this?
go ahead and sense in that direction.
And with that, I say, Galadriel, you know more about the mold. Come over here and tell him
Wait, what?
what you found out about it.
Yeah, you noticed this.
Oh, I saved some of the mold scrapings, didn't I?
Nope. You tried to, but
From the wall? Not from the yellow stuff.
Drew
But
lit them on fire.
yep.
I didn't get any samples?
No, he literally lit the samples you were holding on fire.
God. Well, I'm grumpy about the whole affair. Oh, mold, yes. Well, they seem to assume that for some reason I was licking walls covered in the stuff, which is patently absurd.
I'm nodding my head.
Patently absurd.
I'm on the other side of Caladrel, pointing at him and mouthing the words he totally did, and then I pantomime, hands on the wall and just.
The Nosberries.
Yeah,
I had
that.
samples. I had samples of the stuff that I could have studied.
All sorts of ways.
But these mongoloids felt fit to destroy my studies.
Yes, because it's evil. And also,
It's
you were
mold.
eating it.
It's mold. It's inherently neutral.
Studying the results and fruits of evil is a very dangerous path. It's much better to simply eradicate it.
Agreed.
Unless it can be used for the better good.
I at
That
some
is a
point also
contradiction.
tried to pull.
Well, we won't know how because you destroyed this stuff.
The paladin looks at Galadriel deeply. I don't believe your alignment is evil.
No, I'm chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Certainly chaotic.
Yeah. I play that to a T.
And then the paladin sort of looks slightly over at Reyna.
I'm not evil. I'm not evil.
You have something with you.
Oh.
I lean in real
I was
close to him.
actually before you were saying this, I was trying to say to like pull Reyna to the side and inform her that she might not want to pull out your new toy if we do get into a battle situation.
No, I certainly, am not doing that. I don't actually apparently know what my alignment is. I can't. Oh, there we are. I'm neutral. I am neutral all day long.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have a problem with you.
Okay.
It's something in your pack that is tainted in some way.
I look around to see if Caladrel is paying attention.
The last I knew, the dagger wasn't in your pack, by the way.
It's not in my pack.
You never mentioned that you took it out of the cart, so.
Yeah, no, it's in the cart still. I found these jars of mold that seem very similar. I was bringing them to have them destroyed. We're trying to keep Caladrel from knowing about them because he seems to want to eat them.
Well, perhaps you should hand them over to me.
I do so willingly.
You say that this is similar to the mold you encountered.
Yes, but I did not find it in the house.
Interesting. Did it spread? Is it elsewhere?
Well, it was in the jar when I found it, and it seems to have been put there very purposefully in a place where it was not intended to be found by anybody.
Do I
And
notice
by the owners of this house.
do I notice this mold being handed over?
Oh, yeah. You even notice
I can.
what it is.
So you study the mold.
Nope.
Hypocrite.
I don't study mold. It's gross. You're gross.
Well, then I can study it.
No, you can't. It's evil.
Yes, if any one of us is equipped to study this, it's me.
We're not studying it. We're destroying it.
We shouldn't.
If anyone is equipped to deal with this,
It's me. Look, pal, one of us is an alchemist.
And one of us knows, and the other one is a little bit more knowledgeable of rooting out evil.
the other one of us
Good job.
fights evil for a living.
We paid this nice man to help us do a job.
I do that in a roundabout way.
I should like to detect the aura around this for a little while during our trip. It should aid me in tuning the ritual to the banishment of this particular evil, if indeed it is the same as you speculate.
Just, keep an eye on it and make sure that nothing happens to it.
Nobody wants to lick it.
She better not be eyeballing me when she says that.
This.
You would think that no one would want to eat it based solely on how unappealing it is, but
I do not want to munch mold.
then why were you licking the wall?
I have no recollection of that. I'm entirely convinced you're making it up.
Anyway,
All three of us
Yes!
making it up.
let's all
Yes!
agree to disagree that you were actually eating the mold, which you did. Totally do.
God
Did
damn it.
do.
I will dissolve you as you sleep. You do that.
It's a totally mature way of dealing with your problems.
Pretty sure
Yep.
it would weigh up. So,
Paladin's hands glow a little bit
Always doing the glowy hands thing.
occasionally. Utters some things. Seems to be pretty focused on these jars you gave him.
Excuse me.
No, I don't think ingestion of this would be particularly good. Seems like it might consume one in the mold.
Eee.
Well, I haven't been consumed, so clearly I wasn't munching mold.
Though we have met somebody who has been consumed into the mold, it would seem.
Lich.
Well, certain resistance and you could overcome it. So, there's no need to try.
Well, certainly not.
Should be fairly easy to alleviate the effects of this, however. As the mold inside the jars crisps and powders,
Oh, that's
falling off of the walls of the glass until it is simply a bottle of powder
that's a neat trick. Was that fire?
in the paladin's hand. Well, not exactly, unless you consider it the holy fire of Iomedae.
Yeah, sure. I'll accept that.
what'd you do? Did you purify it?
Yes, I've cleansed these.
Neat.
I like a good cleansing with fire, or just a good burning with fire. Honestly, just
Yeah, he's
So
a
no
bit
worries
of a
about me.
pyromaniac.
So you say he consumed mold.
Did do.
and then we had to physically remove him from the room that this stuff was growing in.
And obviously he now has no recollection of having done this.
I'm entirely convinced they've all made it up just to fuck with me.
Well, fucking with you is one of my favorite pastimes, no pun intended.
You see?
In this instance, you're
Well.
just crazy.
I mean, you aren't a pile of mold, but I
Right?
don't know that it would hurt to check. Do you mind? And he reaches out towards you.
Anything to fucking exonerate me.
He does a quick laying on of hands.
Ooh. My contents have shifted.
Does he speak in tongues?
It is tingly.
My contents have shifted.
You feel a little better than you have for a while. Definitely hungrier. Like, you're more settled in the stomach area.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't seem to be affected by it.
Probably just because he's an elf.
Like I said,
It's possible he overcame it of his own fortitude.
or it never happened in the first place.
Suffice to say, your friend is not currently evil,
Yep.
Glad to hear it.
Currently,
although
Still
perhaps
kind
a little
of.
rude at times.
Yeah.
Do.
So,
well,
you arrive.
well, you must be on pot because I'm clearly the kettle.
What, the paladin is suddenly rude?
Mm-hmm.
With what basis?
Jerk.
Because he disliked what he said.
Pretty much, yeah.
Maybe a deeper exorcism is in order. A beating, maybe.
Certainly.
What?
You gotta beat him. Beat him with a stick.
Alright, so you arrive at the house. And I will wrap the session there.
We're here. Bye, everybody.
That'll do.
So the last time we brought a cleric here, it went really poorly.